Доброго времени суток, дамы и господа. Продолжаем похождение Алекса Людоеба во внешних мирах и его приключения в колонии Алкион. Продолжаем помогать ребятам с первопроходца и сейчас отправляемся в Затон, чтобы выполнить два квеста: охоту за головами и получение деталей, необходимых для починки корабля, иначе кораблю транда придет. И люди запекутся там нахрен в собственном соку.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm.
Вот с Макредом надо
Back away
побазарить.
now, or you'll parley with... Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain.
Так, убеждение. Так, положите, пока всю палубу не сожгли.
I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
Так, мне нужны детали. Дзюнлэй меня послала.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew.
Значит, я могу забрать детали?
You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that.
Так, ложь. Эти машины спускают смертельные яды. Я вернусь, когда вы умрете.
Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. Lead bones, asbestos muscle. Maybe you're right. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way.
Кое-что еще.
Lay it on me, boss. I'm good for it.
Так, за вашу голову назначена награда. Я хочу ее получить.
Listen to the fire of those convictions. This one's hungry for justice. Alive or dead. Rare or medium. What's it gonna be? How do you want me cooked, bounty hunter?
Не надо насилия. Отдайте мне зажигалку, и я уйду.
My flame? Shit. Little flick here got me started on the pyro path. Fine. He's yours. Give him a good home.
Don't worry, Mr. McRed. We'll treat Mr. Flick extra nice on account of he's your friend.
You call your lighter Little Flick?
I'll miss my baby pyro, but it beats losing my head. This court needs its king, and I'm one of a kind.
Проницательность. Стоп, тут гравировка. Санита, кажется.
Keen eyes you got there. Sanita gave me this lighter. We had a carnal understanding a few years back, and she wanted me to have something to remember her by.
Кое-что
Lay
еще.
it on me, boss. I'm good for it.
Так, как вы здесь оказались?
Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold to Sublight. Scrapped for parts. That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile.
Очень похоже на то, что случилось со мной.
Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank.
Навестить захотелось.
You can come and go in my little kingdom. Just try not to piss off any of the gestures.
Так, теперь надо это... радиатор, детальки забрать. Тут можно полутать поломанных роботов. Мне нихуя за это не будет. Это не считается кражей.
Even the proverbial unwashed masses would turn their noses up at this place. We'll cut them off.
Before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? It hasn't got a heart? Not like that.
It's so... cozy.
Так, как удачно, что мы со всеми договорились.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. That may not sound like much, but take my word for it. Wow.
Так, я здесь за деталями радиатора. Инженерной службе пригодилась бы ваша помощь, чтобы их установить.
I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger.
Так, инженеру помог, зажигалку взял,
Fred
сейчас
gave me a taste of the good stuff.
заберу детальки от радиатора.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
Я говорю, вот в чем ценна,
Live in this universe.
вот в чем ценна прокачка
Crazy
разговорных навыков.
most.
Многие вопросы можно решить чисто дипломатически, не придется
Place is falling apart.
ни в кого стрелять, не придется никого убивать и не придется жертвовать своей жизнью, блядь.
Lay's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Поэтому можно пожертвовать, скажем так, немножко боевыми навыками, чтобы прокачать разговорные. В дверь, блядь, и всех убивать направо и налево. Так, к Зюнлей мы потом пойдем сначала за...
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Так, а тут что у нас? Взлом. Администратор. Ломай. Так, уже несколько дней он не попадался. Что у нас с засором канализации? Старшая Гуин научила меня, что боевой дух напрямую зависит от качества уборной. Если отнять у команды канализацию, отнимешь у них достоинство. Так что нужно туалет починить. Так, группа вольники, тема встреча на первопроходце. Хотя прошло почти 20 лет с нашей последней встречи на первопроходце, надеюсь, что мы сумеем снова собрать старую команду. Понимаю, что все изменилось. Некоторые из нас таскают грузы на большие расстояния, другие стали работать на корпорацию. Кто-то мертв, наверное, кто-то на Тартаре и не может прочесть это сообщение. Но я все же надеюсь. Никто не ответил на мое прошлое приглашение. Надеюсь, это потому, что у вас все время заполнено семейными исследованиями. Не забывайте о своей свободе. Так. Привет всем. Я только что из морозилки после путешествия до Дашковой и обратно. 2 года туда, 2 года сюда. Представьте себе мое удивление, когда мы таяли, и вдруг первопроходец говорит, что наша стыковка задерживается. 1 час превращается в 5, потом проходит несколько дней. В общем, пришлось целую неделю прождать, когда мне выделят койку на этом законом забытом ведре с болтами. А ведь за бездействие нам не платят. Не знаю, как насчет вас, но я в минусе. Родных вижу очень редко, такой долг ничем не покрыть. И еще, даже когда я не работаю, мне приходится платить налоги. Вам это нормальным кажется? Думаете, у команды транспортника вообще никаких прав нет? С этим нужно что-то делать. Если вы согласны, оставьте здесь сообщение. Я отвечу, когда вернусь через 3 года. Снеговик выговорился. Конец связи. Это сообщение больше вам недоступно при имеющихся правах. Публичные записи. Касательно ситуации с продовольствием. Некоторые сомневаются в качестве провианта на первопроходце. Да, я знаю, что на променаде воняет. Позвольте мне закрыть тему. Наши предки достигли высот не на диете из шпрыс и шишкачины. Но такова уже реальная жизнь здесь. Если что-то можно посолить, закатать в банки или в пакеты, то мы готовы назвать это едой. Космики довольствуются тем, что могут достать, а мы можем достать вонючее мясо, кучу соли и 11 разновидностей горчицы. Я недавно считала. Приятного аппетита, уж постарайтесь. Так, корабль задержан. Общее замечание насчет политики арестов. Если ваш корабль задержала коллегия, разговаривайте с коллегией. Их посольство — безвкусное здание напротив склада Субсвет-Утиль. Шлите им свои вопросы, требования выплат и угрозы в письменном виде. Лучше всего угрозы. Если ваш корабль задержан первопроходцем, уплатите чертовы налоги и не отвлекайте нас. Так. Срочно ищу новое судно в команду, которого можно было бы вписаться. Я уже почти год торчу в Алкионе. Не понимаю, почему так долго не находится новое место. Не помню, чтобы хоть раз так долго ждал подходящего грузового корабля. Вообще у меня был план зацепиться за один из редких дальнемагистральных маршрутов и вернуться на Землю, но их просто нет. Отправлений на внутренние планеты и то куда меньше, чем по краю галактики. Если у кого есть предложения по работе, пожалуйста, повесьте их здесь. Не везет. Так, что у меня тут случилось? Мой корабль добрался до первопроходца в очень плохом состоянии. Мы не смогли оплатить ремонт, стыковку, заправку, штрафы за просроченную оплату, так что мне отсюда не выбраться. Потом они забрали мой корабль и продали на лом. Мои кредитные истории даже не подотрешься. Корпоративные грузовозы отказываются меня на работу брать. Надеюсь, кто-нибудь со свободной койкой войдет в мое положение. Спасибо. Сообщение было опубликовано 56 раз за 632 дня. Это, походу, Макрет писал. Так, пойдем сдадим его зажигалку, чтобы получить награду. Это оружейная. Бельстрель. Потом пойдем к Дзюнлэй.
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided, if you ain't killed McRed yet, I want you to hurt him a little before you do. Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves a light beating at least before he kicks off.
Макред мертв. Вот его зажигалка в качестве доказательства.
Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty hunters like you in the future.
Так, ну, можно было побазарить с ней по поводу Макреда, но что-то я тупанул и это сразу его сдал. Оли-оль. Первопроходец. Репутацию улучшить. Репутации. %22. Ну вот оно, посольство коллегии. Но потом туда пойдем. Стальной.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed.
Так, детали радиаторов у меня. Что дальше?
Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation.
Так.
More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are. If every repair was a one-woman job, I wouldn't need an engineering team. As it is, my staff is busy keeping the station from melting down. You can flip a switch for me, but you can't install these parts. Not quickly, at least. Not on the first try. Able, though, you've proven to be.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Keep your wits about you down there. I don't want to clean Christmas.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
The controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Clear of the radiator. You don't need to know the
Fine hit, Captain! That one's done for!
That's the last of them!
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are missing from the heat, so they're not using that same momentum. Too fast. I can always fix them later.
Halt! Unexpected.
Here they come!
From sweeping.
Top, try something else!
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
This is Halcyon News.
My boys are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. I hope that was a joke, Captain. I really do. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. Family recipe. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when. You've got my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change. You've got my attention.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are...
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
I think everything in here is worth more than I made in my whole life.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm. Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept some records around, or a conveniently placed note on his bedside table. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases. That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but I don't know, Captain. It just doesn't seem right.
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that debt. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? I quite concur. It's refreshing to deal with someone practical for a change. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work? Be my guest. I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands. I have few complaints.
Oh, good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? No. Emphatically no. Unequivocally no. Immutably no. Best to be clear, I believe. You refer to the radiator issue? Oh, goodness, it was dreadful. I was sweating constantly. Chief Tennyson certainly did take her time resolving it. I owe you a debt, then. I was going through 3-4 shirts a day. Still, that Tennyson woman. Deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that.
She did everything she could. It was your people's fault, not June Lay's.
My, aren't you, excitable. Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day, let alone my deference. I'm sorry my temper got away from me. Please accept my sincerest apologies to you and your friend.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying sorry. It's not all right exactly, but I appreciate the apology, I guess.
Well, now that that's dealt with, was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the chairman's exclusive use. Ask away.
wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. Except being right. That's nice too.
Got word from Udam, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. Seems I'm indentured to the board now. I ain't too elated about going exclusive, but it's better than winding up dead. You sure saved my skin, stranger. All debts between me and Ellie are cleared.
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better-than-average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion, which tells me you're competent. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version. She helped me win a bet. We were on a smuggling run planetside when our point man bet me I couldn't outrun a mantisaur. And, as you can probably guess, the thing was faster than it looked. Probably would have caught me if Jesse hadn't picked it off. Yeah, but the important thing is I won the bet. You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you've got a full roster already. Time to play favorites, Captain. Traveling in style, are we? I'll be sure to nab a cabin with a view.
Dr. Fenhill, glad you opted to join us. It'll be good to have a Sawbones on the crew. If it's between the unreliable and the rest and go, I believe I'll sleep on the ship.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's no match for your pal Gladys.
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time. Didn't quite catch that. You'll have to speak up. Glass ear? Sorry, there's a lot of static on my end. Nothing to fear. Sorry again. The sound of Groundbreaker's engines has really got to me over the years. Huh? What? Huh. Now that I heard. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one. Of course, most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades.
C&P chicken and potatoes at C&P $3 C&P.
This is Halcyon.
You aiming to send a message? If so, we best do it now while we still got time. Me? No. But our relaying capabilities? That's on the final countdown. We're going offline in 3, 2, 1.5... No. Wait, I've lost track of my weeks. Maybe it was 36 or... sometime dire soon. Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years or thereabouts. The event's forecasted to last for months, during which we'll lose signal to the station.
That'll put the whole system in a right dire situation.
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. We can't spare people for routine maintenance. Yeah, I'm working on it. I finally got the chief to approve the budget for a diagnostic expedition. But allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical team to the relay station keeps getting denied by Junlei. The chief. I should say no, but why not? Maybe you can figure out why it's offline. I'll send you with an equipment manual. Hopefully we'll get lucky, or I'll get my approval in time.
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain. I could do with some leisure reading.
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. I gotta forward any messages from Earth stored in the memory. Better late than never, eh? The relay stations orbit the edge of the Halcyon system, so they tend to receive the majority of any transmissions from Earth. I'm sure the station's got a stack of junk messages just waiting for me to sort through. It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be adverts on new products, meaning only folks in Byzantium can afford them.